Welcome to the Rebel Love Show. We are a once-a-week broadcast from Manchester, New Hampshire, where we are pro-pot, pro-gun, and pro-coffee. You can find all of our content on rebelloveshow.com. We're also on Stitcher, iTunes, YouTube. We're syndicated on Voluntary Virtues. And now you can listen to us
on
LRN.FM. And I think, I'll be honest, that deserves a cheer.
Dude, I'm so stoked about this. This is great.
I mean, LRN.FM. I want to take a break for just a quick second here. LRN.FM. You listened to LRN for like a long time, right?
Oh yeah, man. I used to just have it on like at my house all the time.
Yeah, me too.
Just like in the background.
Tune in radio on my phone.
Yeah.
In the car when I spent like over 2 years listening to LRN.FM. It was a lifeline for me before I got here. And I mean, we don't have a time slot. We're in the podcast loop. I don't give a shit. That's good enough for me. That's a huge thing for us. Like we got here as a lifeline because of LRN.FM. We wouldn't have discovered, Victimless Crime Spree. We wouldn't have discovered what Free Keene was. We wouldn't discover what the Free State Project was, like with the people living here, if it wasn't for LRN.
Yeah,
and
man.
like we've come like this whole huge full circle, and now we're on LRN.
I am become LRN.FM.
So, I mean, for both of us, like we understand that LRN is a lifeline to thousands and thousands of people out there on in the internet, that are alone out there in the wilderness known as society, and
Yeah. Hey, you out there?
we're like the shining beacon on the hill.
We're here for you in the Free State. Come to New Hampshire.
Come hang with us. It's cool.
It's like this too.
Yeah, come out here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, we gotta do a show, so that's my little pitch for LRN.
By the way,
LRN.FM.
That's Rob Mathias.
I'm Rob Mathias, and this
I'm Shire Dude. How's it
Shire
going?
Dude. And our guest today is none other than the man behind the most popular documentaries ever created in the Free State Project, none other than Beau Davis.
Hi.
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Speaking of LRN and paying attention to everything that has happened here, do you realize like we both knew who you were before we got here a long time ago?
It's weird.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it weird when people come here and they know who you are?
Yeah.
I've had that happen to me. Like people move here and they know who I am, so I can relate a little bit, but. Yeah, I can understand how it's kind of it's a little surreal when people know who you are before when they meet you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, though like I knew pretty much the who's who before I got here. Like I knew everyone that was before I moved here. But it has to be surreal for you because you've been here. How many years have you been here?
Coming up on 4 years now.
Oh wow.
That's like a decade in Shire time.
Narnia time.
Right.
I mean that's like I don't know, for me like a month here feels like months or almost like half a year or whatnot. Like a week feels like multiple weeks or a month. Like I don't know if you've had that feeling since before you moved. Like if you compare like the time, how time goes here compared to how time went before you moved.
I don't know. I mean, it's all relative, as you know, and it's really. I mean, like as you know, like you get wrapped up in projects and everything, and before you know it, a month has passed, 2 months, and all of a sudden, wow, I've been here a year. But I mean, there's certain parts that drag on, but that's life. That's what happens.
I have 1 month left before my 1 year anniversary.
What are you gonna do to celebrate, man?
I don't know. I need to celebrate. Like I don't even care about my birthday. I don't care about like any other date. My date's January 25th. That's my date. I had a surreal moment the other day because I moved in January. All right, so it's winter. It's cold. Though it was actually warm for January here. I remember moving. And I left Chicago when it was a polar vortex going on. All right. So it was like negative 40-degree wind chills and stuff like that. And a friend of mine from there helped me move and leave. And by the way, he's actually planning on moving here, hopefully. He keeps calling me, and I keep missing his calls. I think he listens to us. So, Steven, hey, get your ass to New Hampshire. But I remember him dropping me off at the airport and all that jazz. I come here and like I remember exactly what the weather was like. Like I remember it to a T. Like the weather, like there was some snow on the ground. Like I remember it picturally clear. And I remember walking up to I went to the Quill for Thanksgiving because I'm an orphan here. I don't have family here, and whatnot. And that was when like winter had hit. Was that day, and it was really surreal for me because it felt like the first time I walked up to it. Because the first time I walked up to it was the exact same weather conditions, and it was a little surreal. Like, oh, like I've been here for like a year now almost, So like it was kind of starting to hit that I've been here, but it feels like I've been here for years, and I haven't been, but it feels like I have been.
Well, that's just because of the community. It would take years for somebody to garner this much community support and backing and be able to meet so many people, like-minded people that value the same things that you do. It would take years to do that in your hometown and build this kind of libertarian Mecca. I might be using that word wrong, but
it's definitely a libertarian Mecca. I mean, where else is there? Well, I guess you can say the Blue Ridgers, but
this is the Mecca where you should stay.
Yeah,
So, like that's the difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Davi Barker might get on me for saying that, using the word or any other. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's more so just to describe what it's like. I mean, we're not trying to like steal a word from a religion or anything like that.
No.
Yeah.
I think it's a representation, interpretation. I don't know.
Maybe.
Anyway,
but no, I mean, it's.
Oh, that's where you use the phrase "of sorts." So it's a Mecca of sorts, and that just like lets you off the hook.
There we go.
I mean,
because then that's like an imperfect, like of sorts.
I mean, what's crazy to me is like you hear about like this community, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of faults I have with the community. Don't get me wrong, there's drama that happens, but this is
Every
anywhere.
community.
Every community is like that, and it's not everything is what you think it's going to be. But that being said, like this community actually exists. There's it's real.
And just as there's unexpected things that you may not agree with or things that we still need to fix, there are new things that are popping up all the time, that undiscovered possibilities and great qualities of this type of community that unsurface themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. When looking at, I've got this notebook, and I write down like each new idea for a project in it, and I try to keep organized that way, because otherwise it's just like a bunch of like receipts and like napkins that are like drawn on with markers and stuff. And I'm looking through the notebook this morning actually, and I see the projects in the beginning compared to the projects at the end. The beginning projects are like, oh, I can make like a little sketch company with like sock puppets, and like at the end, like they're so like grandiose and like there's these big projects that we can do here. And I'm only just realizing that like you, wherever you are, if you're not in New Hampshire right now, you're probably not dreaming big enough.
Absolutely. I mean, you have support to do whatever you really want here, and you have a backing, and it's incredible to have like that backing. Like that there's support, and what you're doing. Like for me, like my big thing is just trying to get people to move here. Not that I don't really think I need to do that, but
well, it's just getting. We're so close. We're approaching 17,000 signers right now.
We need to trigger the move.
Well, yeah. So what I'm really excited about for when they're of course it's a 5-year commitment for people to make the move. So it's not all going to happen at once. I imagine a lot of people will move at once when the news gets out that we hit 20,000. But when 20,000, or even if we hit the move and 10,000 people or only 10,000 people move, that's 10,000 like-minded people. That's 10,000, maybe 1,000 of those are entrepreneurs. That's 1,000 entrepreneurs, 1,000 starters, 1,000 business owners, or people on the ground doing things. So 10,000 people move, 1,000 of those are entrepreneurs. How many more of those are politicos, activists?
That's an interesting point, because I'm very voluntarist. I don't want to vote. I don't want to take part in the state or anything like that. That being said, I want as many minarchists as possible to move here. The reason being is because those minarchists are within 6 months are gonna. I mean, let's be honest, they're gonna be anarchists in 6 months. All right, that's a given. But even then, those minarchists will they will inspire other minarchists to come here. You know, they'll inspire more other people to get here, and they'll go down the rabbit hole as well. So I'm not against. And on top of that, the minarchists that do run, the politicos that do run, almost all those politicos they're on the same page as volunteers and anarchists. They're still there. They don't believe that anyone can own anyone else.
And we all know that more freedom, more available, freedom, more opportunities. It's going to result in I would think better solutions, better solutions to the problems we face. One of the things that happens when you have government intervention is you have a lack of opportunity of choices or new ways of doing things. So once you say you can't do this, you can't you have to get this certain permission or license, or you have to pay, you set a standard, or you set and it's not just a standard, it's something that you're bullying people, you're enforcing them into this lifestyle. So opening up the opportunities of the free market's going to allow all kinds of betterments in many different aspects of life, and that's what we're trying to do here.
Well, one thing I love is with the community, it's so, when it comes to ideologies and what people do, it's so different. I mean, you get the civ dis crowd, you got the media crowd. I mean, the media people which all of us here at this table are.
The politicos.
You got them. You got the politicos.
Yeah.
You got the entrepreneurs. You got the Bitcoin enthusiasts and everything that goes along with them, the crypto anarchists and whatnot.
You got the Shire Dudes.
You get the Shire, yeah. You got a Shire Dude.
Oh.
But yeah, like everyone brings a little bit something to the table. But the thing is, everyone comes to the table.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I sit across the table from people that do vastly different things than what I do. But at the same time, we're all here for the same reason. It's like this camaraderie. It's very interesting because it's not everyone's doing the exact same thing. It's like a shotgun effect. Like, let's see what sticks and see what works, and everyone does their own little thing.
Well, that's the thing here. Like we're again, it comes down to freedom. And so, what is freedom on a when we look at it from a collective perspective, if you will, looking at the whole? It's spontaneous order.
Absolutely. I mean,
it's everybody doing their own thing, like you're saying, and so things happen. I want to point out here, so there's 1,700 people here.
There's a lot.
Yeah, and not all 1,700 people. Of course, that's out of 1.3 or so million New Hampshire population. But the 1,700 people that are here are not all of them do. They go out and actively do, but there's 25% of those people are really gung ho on the liberty thing, and very active in voicing it in whatever field they want to do. That's
it's huge.
It is huge, and so what it does is it inspires more, and it's inspiring movers. It's inspiring some of the other 75% or so, or whatever that ratio is. But the other people that are are just some of them are just here just to live free, take advantage of that ability.
You do realize that the two people sitting across the table from you signed the intent to move after watching Victimless Crime Spree.
Yeah.
Like, so I mean. Yeah, stuff people do
here.
here.
You guys jump to it. You guys are examples of doers, and like many others. And
yeah, man. So you're making the right kind of content there, attracting the right kind of people.
Yeah. Well, that's like with the one, like I've had people message me about watching the 101 and which we're going to talk about in a second because we haven't even got to that yet. We're already almost 15 some minutes in and we haven't even talked about
If you're
this.
listening to this and you haven't seen 101 Reasons, go to 101reasonsfilm.com.
There you go.
And 101reasons.com.
How'd you come up with the name?
101reasonsfilm.com. You had it right.
Film.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
There you go. Okay. But yeah, like everything people do, inspires everything. What's really amazing is I don't know why I do this, but I do the same. Whenever I meet a new mover, a lot of times what I try to do, I was like, obviously, like a couple conversations come up. One, what was your red pill moment? A lot of times it's Ron Paul. Sometimes it's other people. Some situation happened. I don't buy it as like, oh, I was always an anarchist. Or like, fuck you. No, you weren't. You were a statist and you know it.
Well, no.
Most people, 90% of them, 95%.
No, I
Really?
I 100% disagree
born
with
as an anarchist, really?
Everyone, I think everyone was born an anarchist, and then you're corrupted into believing that you have to, go by these certain things.
Well,
Like,
what I'm trying to say is everyone was a statist at some time. That's what I'm trying to get across as.
except for the people that weren't exposed to statism.
Okay. But that's very,
Right.
very...
All the Liberty babies, man, that we're
the
having
Liberty
over
babies,
here.
yes. The
Yeah.
Liberty babies here, yes, there's a future for them. Peaceful parenting, Stefan Molyneux, peace be upon you. No, fuck you. Yeah. Anyways, I don't want to go into Stefan. We did that a couple episodes ago.
But there's still peaceful parenting.
Oh, I'm
that's
100%
aside
down for
from-
peaceful parenting.
Right.
Yes. Yes. But no, most people were. I was a statist at one point.
Yeah, I was too.
Shire Dude here is Obama supporter at one point, right?
I just voted for him once, man.
I voted for him too, and I apologize for getting involved
My
in the entire
bad.
voting system from the get-go.
Oh God.
Sorry, 2008.
Jesus, I'm sitting at a table with Obama supporters. I did not vote for Obama.
He was the only federal vote that I put in.
Rob voted for chemtrails.
His name was Bob Barr.
And he's pro chemtrails.
Is he pro chemtrails?
Come on.
What are they spraying? Okay. But no, like everything, people inspire different things. Everyone moved here for different reasons. But I always love comparing notes, like how the fuck did you get here? Like this is like the bottom of the rabbit hole type of thing, And I'm always fascinated by this story because everyone has a story. And usually people are they're passionate about their story. And I'll be honest, I probably shouldn't give this secret out. But if you're the Fed, you should have a passionate story. Because if you don't have a passionate story, I'm immediately going to assume you're the Fed. You got to sell the fact why you're here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I love sharing my, like, your red pill moment, but then your trigger moment, because it's two moments, Usually it is. Like, you had this moment where you're like, oh, my God, you know what? Fuck, I got to get to the Shire. I belong there,
So I didn't actually know it as the Shire when that was like
did you call it status name?
Yeah, it was New Hampshire. I
Oh.
was a statist then. I'm
Voluntary cartography.
I'm still shedding, status, habit status, tendencies.
We're all a little status sometimes.
Well, we all sort of have to play the status, even still. Everybody who drives, I haven't driven in a while, but everybody who drives still abides by, like reluctantly. But so statism still permeates.
Yeah, I had to pay my extortion to the state in order for me to have the privilege to drive my car that I bought with Bitcoin on their roads. Apparently, yeah, I was not happy about paying that in any way, shape, or form. But you pick and choose your battles. I'm not a right to travel activist like a very few amount of people. That's a big gamble. Like right to travel activist.
It is. You really need to have money to throw at that. And you know what? If you really do, if somebody out there, listener, if you've got, you're like, hey, I want to make a difference in the world, and you've got a few thousand in the bank or something, you know what? Fucking buy a little beater vehicle that you don't mind getting towed, and go out and if you don't mind risking maybe at most a month or two in jail. but you know, it'd be worth it if you really plan it out and I'm sorry.
You can curse. I don't know. I don't care. Drop as many F-bombs as you want.
Fuck. But really, I should stop. I should, like, you know, vary up my lingo.
That's okay.
I like how he went for it first.
I like the
but yeah, so I don't know. Whatever activism, do it. But, you know, up here, at least there's more of a network. So if you do something crazy like that, which is, you know, pretty crazy unless you really think it through and plan to, you know, accept some negative consequences. Hey, hey,
she jumped right into the camera. Yeah, that's Ash.
That's
She's the
exciting.
studio cat. Yeah. Feel free to the spank her if you want. She's kind of into it. Yeah. Yeah, Ash is she's very friendly. I don't know. But anyways, let's talk about the 101, man.
Yeah,
101
man.
reasons to move to New Hampshire. You should have put move to the Shire. Why'd you? Or 101 reasons Liberty lives in New Hampshire, right?
Yeah.
That's the name of it.
Mm-hmm.
You used the status name on it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the audience, right? I mean,
Well, you know, I assume not everybody's going to be entirely self-government minded. I wasn't when I came up here. So, like, when I moved, I was watching Dave Ridley's videos, Ridleyos as they're called, and
Who didn't love Dave Ridley? Who still doesn't love Dave Ridley?
right, he's great.
Even though I've never met the man, I hear he's a recluse.
he appeared one day.
I know. I heard he appeared at the Quill, and I didn't get to meet him.
Yeah.
I've had multiple conversations with this man, which is really bizarre. I had to follow an etiquette where I had to go through like 3 different loops. It went from YouTube to Facebook to email. I had to follow like this like train of thought of like how I had to communicate with him. It was really bizarre. But I mean, yeah, I used to religiously watch Dave Ridley videos. Yes. I mean, a lot of people in this community have.
Yeah, and so that was one of the things, and also the police accountability videos, Cop Block, and stuff like that. I really got into those videos, and so I started learning about New Hampshire. Like I was saying before, I didn't really know it as the Shire. I knew it as the status name, but you know, I knew of people like you were saying before. You know, I knew of Rich Paul, and I knew of. Because I was really into one of the, as you I don't know if you were asking me this before, but one of the reasons why I moved, and one of my red pills was cannabis, which, you know, I use psychotropically as well as medicinally.
Me too.
And and I have been since I discovered, you know, that I've been lied to. I know that that a lot of the propaganda out there has been either blatant lies or misinformation or whatever it was an untruth. And so what it did is it opened up a huge rabbit hole into, you know, not just a rabbit hole, but one that spider webbed out and all over the place. And it made me ask all kinds of questions. So that was a big red pill for me.
Yeah, man. Me too. Actually, the first time I smoked cannabis, I thought back to the deputy sheriff coming to my high school classroom or my elementary. No, this was back in elementary school. She comes to the classroom and tells us all the horrible side effects of all these drugs we could be taking. And, you know, me as a little kid, I'm thinking, wait, there's drugs that I can be taking? Because I had no idea. And
Right, so they introduced the idea.
yeah, they introduced the idea, and then I get offered later in life, and of course I do it because the easiest way to get a teenager to do something is to tell them not to do it.
Right.
And then I realized, I'm like, wait a minute, like I'm not shriveling up and dying or jumping off a roof.
I don't feel stupid. I can take a few days off of smoking, and I clear up as if I've never smoked ever, you know, like except for the taste of like, oh yeah, I'd smell somebody smoking near me, and like that would be nice.
Yeah.
You know, but that's
I've gone months without smoking, then I'll pick it back up, and then I'll go back again. You know, like I'll go through phases where like I'll smoke like a couple of nights a week and whatnot, and then I'll go like I went like a month and a half earlier where I pretty much didn't smoke at all. You know, or about a month, about a month. But beforehand, I was smoking. You know, I would say almost every night or every other night or whatnot. And then I don't know. Well, I had to get a new job, so that kind of does that to you, because like apparently employers and the state doesn't want you doing drugs, so I need money to do this. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I didn't feel as if I was like losing it, or as if like I was going through withdrawals or something like that. I felt I just didn't feel high or anything like that. I just felt sober. I didn't have like this urge like, oh my god, I have to, because if I don't, I'm gonna have this headache, or like I get that with coffee. If I don't have my coffee,
right,
I am upset. I'm angry. I'm like,
I become a terrible person.
Yeah, like give me my coffee. I'm gonna be a happy, like energetic person. But if I don't, I'm gonna be sluggish and pissed off.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
But I don't feel that way when I like if I don't smoke. I'm like, okay, I'm just not happier.
Right.
But I'm not
right,
like
not happier.
Yeah.
Right, but you can still be happy.
I can still be happy. I'm just not
Exactly.
happier.
Right.
Yeah.
But so anyway, I'm sorry to go off on that tangent, but so cannabis was sort of a red pill, and to go back again, I watched a lot of Ridley videos, so that brought me to the Free State Project. When I learned of the Free State Project, I obviously went to the website, and one of the reasons that I moved here was coming across the 101 Reasons list on one of the pages on the site, and it was I had no idea who wrote it or any history. I didn't know there was any history on this list. This is something I learned in the production of the movie.
One thing I've learned is every like month or so, now mind you, I paid attention to this community for a long period of time. Okay, I'm still discovering historical things that happened, like activist stuff, or like case in point, like a couple months ago, I believe you were involved with it. Yeah, you were. The whole chalking of the Manchester PD.
Oh
yeah, man.
I never knew that existed. I never knew that ever happened. And there was like a post in like some I forget which Facebook group it was. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I started
epic. That was a crazy
and I watched
day.
it. I'm like, oh my god, like that was intense. I didn't know that even happened in Manchester.
Yeah.
And I there's other times that I've discovered things that happened that I never knew happened.
Oh yeah, I learned one of the things I learned about was upon coming here was like the I forget what they were called, but I think it was eight act. No, that was the Chalking 8. That was the one you were referencing. There was another one in Keene where some folks not surrounded, but they were outside one of the jails, the Cheshire County House of Corrections, and I believe they were just sign waving, but several people. Oh, it was the trespass of 12. That's what it was. Are you all familiar with that?
No.
I'm not, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Really? So you guys have been here both almost a year, and this is another new thing. So you should YouTube at some point the trespass of 12, and I'm baked, so I'm not gonna give you an accurate story or anything, but the viewers, and I don't know if that's the right. So, okay, YouTube Cheshire County House of Corrections or some variation of that, Cheshire Jail, and 12 arrested, and you'll probably find videos or at least a write-up. But there were like 12 activists that were arrested outside the jail for throwing some sort of event. Like I think it was either a barbecue or it was like not stuff like we're doing right now. Like it was pretty intense. Apparently.
I had no idea. After I'm recording, I'm gonna go Google this shit.
Yeah.
I did not know this existed.
I'm sorry I can't give you a better account of these.
Just the fact that you're bringing it up. I mean, again, I'm being perfectly honest. I had no idea this existed or even happened. I know there's been talk of having like some sort of Free State Chronicles where like everything that's ever happened is like a wiki of the Free State Project.
Yeah.
Like there's always stuff that happens.
It does exist as a website, but nobody uses it yet. I have an account on it and everything.
Here, wait, before I even jump, I really want to ask you this question.
Sure.
Do you feel as if you're a historian more than anything else? Especially with the last documentary.
That was more so.
Because sometimes I feel like what I'm doing now doesn't mean anything today. But like years from now, like someone will have a podcast. Maybe here in Manchester, maybe be in Portsmouth or the Lakes region. Who knows what's going to happen in like 10 years from now. But someone will move here. And there'll be some other person that makes a documentary. All right, and there'll be another person that does like some fucking thing like Shire Dude does. I don't fucking know. I don't even know what's going to happen like with new movers. Like they'll bring something completely different. Who knows? But down the road, they're going to be talking about like, yeah, do you remember that Rebel Love show? And remember when Beau Davis was on there talking about like the this thing or something like that, or like they'll talk about like something that happened or some situation that happened that we're involved in because we took a camera and we hit the record button. And they saw that because we hit a record button.
Right.
You know? Like, I feel as if, like, down the road, like, we're recording shit that's going on, whether it's a picture, whether it's a podcast that we're talking about, something that happened, whether it's a video of something that happened or a blog post. I don't know. But, like, I feel like us talking about it just alone, like, 10 years from now, a decade from now, is going to be historical documents. Like a YouTube video is like a historical document nowadays.
Well, I generally and I slip from this all the time, but I generally try to live in the now anyway.
Oh, me too. I live my life as free and now and present as possible.
So like I try not to be pushy with people, but I do try and affect people's lives around me. You know, if somebody is whether minuscule or an extreme situation, you know, like I try and help and better the, you know, if I can, and even if it's just advice that I can offer. But oh God. What were we talking about? History.
What I'm saying is that, like, I feel like, you know, like how, okay, case in point, how all of us have talked about how we used to watch Dave Ridley videos.
Yes,
we used to watch Dave Ridley.
Right.
You know, if you haven't watched a Dave Ridley video, go DaveRidley.com and you'll go to his YouTube channel because he doesn't have a website. And it's just an auto direct. And watch his videos.
Yeah.
Go back 4 or 5 years. Go back to way the beginning, because in all honesty, he still uses the same camera. It's not HD camera, so it all looks like it was recorded like 20 years ago. But at any rate, like, go watch some stuff that happened 5 or 6 years ago.
It still looks better
You
than
know.
the live stream stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
man.
absolutely. Live stream is way horrible. But again, Dave Ridley, I'm perfectly honest, I consider him a Free State Project historian.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I was just gonna say he is the fucking the Free State Chronicles.
Yeah, but he doesn't put much videos out anymore, does he? He retired. He kind of like put it on hiatus.
Well, people ought to donate to his thing.
Yeah, I think he's looking for more sponsors.
Well, maybe
You know?
I don't see. That's the thing. I'm not doing this. I get enough Bitcoin donations to. Oh, by the way, you can donate Bitcoin. Go to rebelloveshow.com or just like look at the show notes on anything that you're watching. There's a Bitcoin URL. Go donate. But I get enough for like maybe like a pint at Strange Brew or something like that every now and then and stuff like that. Like I'm not like making a living. I have a slave job, a day job. Unfortunately, though, I have a new job which is fantastic. I'm very excited about my new job. I had a great day today.
Go full agorist.
Yeah, man.
I mean, it's not the same as full keen. It's
I
full
know.
agorist.
I really want to go full agorist, but you know what? Like, I really want to. Don't get me wrong. And then someday I plan on doing that. I really do. But I have so much little time. Like,
That's because you got yourself wrapped up in the rat race. You know, like this.
it's not just the rat race. It's my personal life as well. But that rat race pays for my life here. And I say this to people in person and stuff like that. But I really love my life. Like, I really love it. Like, I love everything about it. I love this life I've been living here. And that rat race, that day job, it pays for this.
Yeah.
You know, like, you can talk about all the activism all you want, like, you know, and everything going on. I'll be honest, I'm a slacktivist. Like, I haven't even uploaded an episode. Like, I people that are fans are probably pissed off, even though they're not going to hear this recording for probably like 3 weeks, because I've had so much going on in my life that I haven't had a chance to actually sit down at a computer and edit an episode and upload it, you know. But I love my life. Like, I've had a lot of drama. I've had a lot of, you know, amazing moments. I try to do because I'm here. I came here as an activist, but I came here like trying to change the world. And then I found myself and I started living instead of existing. And I find that to be more of the common than elsewhere, where a lot of activists that are like, so they relax when they get here, you know. And I've kind of chilled out a hell of a lot. I mean, look at Shire Dude. He hasn't even fucking, like, you know, I remember him when he came to Liberty Forum, and I gave him my tour of my first day of being here. Which was, I don't know, I thought I gave you a pretty good tour at Liberty Forum.
Yeah, man, it was great.
Yeah. But you are not the person I met at Liberty Forum. You have changed like tenfold.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Like, yeah, when you interviewed him, you could tell that you recorded him like within the first few weeks of him being here, because he is not the same person. Like, he is like so chill and so like different than what he was when you recorded him in the documentary.
It's a strange dynamic once you get here, because you can really, like, you just become a new person. Like, you can reinvent yourself, and you can also like let loose a lot, because you can be the real you around, you know, the community. You don't have to be like a, you know, pretend statist.
Well, you still get hate from some people, unfortunately.
Well, you're gonna get hate no matter what.
Yeah, no matter what. But at the end of the day, yes, I 100% agree. You can be whoever the fuck you want to be in this community, and it's so liberating that you're surrounded by so many people, and it's incredible to like be whoever the hell you want to be, and it's definitely it's so liberating that like I've tried to find a balance between activism and living my life, and I keep putting more and more toward living my life than doing this. I feel like I'm a slacktivist at it, but at the same time,
well, no, I
want to live my life.
Well, I hear Shire Dude is going to be much closer to the office.
Yeah.
Fairly soon. So I mean, what you're gonna have there?
I understand. I'm waiting for that day, by the way.
You're gonna have me kicking you in the butt, man.
So I mean, it's really nothing to complain about. I mean, you're gonna be like up and rolling. The two of you guys, you know, working together close. Like, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be good things coming down the pike. I mean, it may be still where you have 3 episodes ahead, you know, but that's like not a problem. You're like, hey, I've got stuff.
But when I first started this, I was like, I gotta edit the next morning. I get it up. I posted it. Like, I was all hardcore on it.
Dude, when
I feel like I'm like, I don't care. I mean, honestly, like, I love the listeners, but it's more so like I gotta. It's a sacrifice of time management. Like, time is.
Well, you're gonna have division of labor here.
Yeah,
but he's a busy guy. He's so busy as he is. Like, we both live really crazy, busy lives.
Slave jobs, I know.
I actually like do editing though, like freelance editing.
Yeah.
So that would be an interesting, you know, like I could help you with that stuff.
Well, you can edit as much as you want. I'm not gonna stop you from.
I love editing.
Yeah. Well, at any rate, what I'm saying is time. And I never used to be like this, because I used to just exist and have nothing to do.
Okay, so.
And like time. It's the most valuable commodity I can give another human being. And even during the show, like, you should. Yeah. the fact that I spend this time.
I feel extra special that you're here.
I do too. I'm not trying to say I'm like the
No, I
fucking
know.
shit or anything
I
like
get
that.
you.
I'm just
I get
saying
you.
like my calendar is always fucking filled. Like my Google Calendar, man. My Google Calendar, like I use that religiously. Like every day I have something planned, something going on, like all the time. I can't even keep up with I have to look at my calendar just to see what's going on tomorrow.
Well, I you know what? I want to add one more thing to your cluttered calendar.
The Pork AV Club.
So that's one thing. Yes, I'm starting up the Pork AV
I know.
Club.
And you can't do it during the Bitcoin meetup. The 6 o'clock thing, man. Don't do that shit.
I did 4 p.m. It's right before the Bitcoin meetup.
I understand. I'm in the chat.
Yeah.
I'm reading it during
So-
my 5 minutes of my slave job. I look at my phone. I see it.
So that's actually what I wanted to put out to you though, and this is something that Shire Dude and I were talking about earlier today. I would like to turn your radio show into a TV show, and now it would take a little bit of money.
Which we do accept Bitcoin donations, by the way.
Right. So there's this HDMI box that you can plug into your computer. It's like it works with Ustream and other sort of stream providers, and you can plug in a DSLR camera that has a mini HDMI port, like the cameras that my cameras. For
You do have a
instance.
really nice camera, by the way.
Yeah, and so I was thinking, something like that. If we were able to get something like that, then when I could plug my cameras in, we could have lights in here, full sound. It'd be a full TV show and then I could be a live switcher. Just throwing this idea out there.
Yeah, the fact that I'm hitting buttons while I'm talking right now, it's annoying having to change camera angles whenever someone's talking. I mean,
And
mind
so-
you, I'm using an app to do that, so I'm just hitting a couple buttons. But
And I can cue B-roll and
Yeah, like if we're talking about a video, he pulls a video up.
I would love. Yes, exactly. That'd be. I would
Dude.
love to have an editor to go back, and the YouTube channel would be because right now the podcast is like 10 times the listenership than the YouTube video. YouTube.com/Rebel Love Show if you want to watch us, which you probably don't, but get a Chromecast for your TV and watch us as a TV show, which you can do. Chromecast. I used to do that with Black Sheep Rising.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I had this interesting moment where I went to convention. They had the bonfire at Conan's house. All right, so later in the night, it had to be 11 o'clock at night or something like that. I was pretty wasted, but I walk in the house and whatnot. I run into him hey man, I want to go check out your studio. So we talk the podcast shop. Whenever I run into another podcaster, the first thing we do, it's we talk podcast shop. What are you using a mixer? What mixer are you using? What app are you using to record? Because are you using Audacity? Because everyone uses Audacity. He does YouTube. It's what he uses a completely different program than what we use to do the show. It's really fascinating because he has multiple camera angles. We're like the Black Sheep Rising of Manchester. I like to say he's the Rebel Love Show of Keene, but
Yeah.
whatever, But I love Black Sheep Rising. But I mean, it's fascinating how we are a TV show. But you want to start this as a TV show, more than an hour. What exactly are you envisioning for the Rebel Love Show?
So again, the idea is to if you look at Free Talk Live, and I pitched this idea to both Ian and Mark, and Mark was all about it. Ian was concerned about financial costs, and what I said was I'd monetize it. I haven't heard back or anything yet, but the idea was so you would have the switching capabilities, having a third person. So you'd have radio talent, which you guys ought to. In Shire Dude, I'm surprised you don't have a laptop. And
Well, yeah, I'll have my computer here pretty soon, but yeah.
no, but yeah. So the idea, you all are radio talent. You have your computers set up for recording and research and things like that. But have somebody live and actually with the sole intention of paying attention to the video. And so it's division of labor. And so with the actual vision of the show, I would say is take your exact same personalities. And by the way, you two mesh very well together.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
So you'd basically would be able to cut to high quality video with relevant B-roll to current events, and I think it's a
And do it live.
all it is just adding a
Live
video
on
element.
LRN.fm. Should we go live
Yeah.
on LRN?
I think
If you're listening to this, get at us. Like message us.
Yeah,
or
message
something.
us. Hit the Facebook page, facebook.com/Rebel Show. Do you want us to be live on LRN? Because we have the opportunity to do so.
Because we edit out all sorts of terrible stuff that happens, and I don't know.
I don't edit shit, man. The only time I ever edit is if like I fuck up on the mixer and one of the mics are too loud, and I listen to it. I'm like, I'm trying to be a perfectionist. I gotta like change the audio settings.
Yeah, but see, then we get shows on time, right? Because they're at that time. So that's the benefit. Is like it forces you not to edit. Just
no, I'm not for editing. I know we both say and ah and shit like that, but we're having a normal conversation. That's how it normally is when you have a conversation. I don't like editing like dead space or dead air or or different other words or whatnot. I don't like doing that.
Right. I think like Shire Dude said, you just get used to filling that space with, especially not ums. Like I really want to say right now, but I'm just not going to. You know, so you get used to it. And
no, I understand, but yeah, no. I would love to have this I would love to see a high production TV show done from the Shire.
And see, this is something that I think, and especially with all the people that we have involved here and the people interested in media, you can come out to what I'm going to be starting is the Porcupine AV Club, and we can collaborate on these types of projects.
Absolutely. This is what I want to throw out to you, okay? You know how the prophet, peace be upon him, you know how he talks about how Keene is the liberty media capital of the world?
Yeah.
with the amount of people we have in Manchester, we should be able to
Why
blow
is
Keene
it-
out of the water.
Why the fuck is Manchester not the liberty capital of the world?
I was saying this
The
earlier.
Liberty Media well,
The liberty media capital of the world. No, mind you, I still think Keene has it. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah.
And I mean,
Well,
I love Keene, but like, why isn't Manchester? I know this is kind of the podcast mecca, especially with the studio down the street and all that jazz. I get that. There's multiple different podcasts coming out of this neighborhood, but why aren't we the media capital?
Well, I think one thing that Keene does that's different is it, and I lived in Keene for a while, and I participated in this even though I disagree, largely now. I don't like to poke the bear unless it's like a really calculated, and I know all my risks and possible consequences and everything. And also I know the type of ripple effect it's going to have, especially if I want something like that to go viral. I think one thing that Keene does is it people so activists that move to Keene will go with the mindset of we'll just act as free as loudly as possible, and really loudness isn't the best thing. That's something I've learned since living there, moving away and coming back, and then moving back to Manchester or out to Manchester. It's like you don't. It's about quality and preciseness. Is I think is what's going to come out. Is what's going to produce the most effectiveness. And so, one thing that Free Talk Live and LRN has is consistency in the fact that they've been at it. They've been. I mean, what are they coming up close to? Their 15, almost 20
Yeah.
years.
15, I want to say.
15 years. So I mean, like they're veterans. They're very talented. They're experienced. And also, I mean, they keep up with current events. They have a great format as far as their show goes. I mean, the idea behind callers calling into the show and having,
You
being
take
able to
control,
change the
yeah.
You know what I have to admit, and one thing that I'm kind of upset about when I talk to people here that've been here for a long time. I'm talking about the OG Free Staters. Don't get me wrong. I love Free Keen. I blog for Free Keen. We're going to talk about Shire Dude here for a second. You want to talk about? We'll talk about it in a second. Let me finish my point. But
finish your thought.
Let me finish my thought. But I mean, I can criticize some stuff that Ian has done and Free Keen, people in Keen has done. That being said, I agree with most of it, but not all of it. There's some stuff I'm like, what the fuck is going on? At any rate, I don't think the OG Free Staters have a clue the impact of Free Talk Live. They don't understand LRN.FM. They don't understand Free Talk Live because they're living here. Why the fuck do they need to listen to it when they're actually living here? Like, it's a life. Not only is it a lifeline, it wakes people up, and a hell of a lot of people. They're on 150 radio stations across the country.
Right.
They're talking to, libertarians, conservatives, liberals, left and right. I used to listen to Free Talk Live religiously for like 2 years, and it definitely helped me wake up. I used to listen to the point where I was listening almost every night. All right, I don't listen. I'll be honest, Free Talk Live has probably a really horrible business model because after you listen to it long enough, you stop listening.
Well,
because you move here and you're like, I don't need to listen to it anymore. I'm living here.
Well, that's because that's not necessarily anything to do with the radio necessarily. I think in my opinion. In my response to that, I would say that when you move here, you've met Ian Freeman, you've met Mark Edge.
Yeah.
You talk to them.
Yes, absolutely.
They're
human beings, just like anyone else.
Not just like that. It's not even just like saying, okay, well, they're not celebritarians, or they're celebritarians or whatever, but a celebritarian or celebrityness doesn't matter.
Yeah. I get that. Yeah.
So my point is you had you've likely had a discussion with them and been like, oh yeah, I'm on the same, we're on the same page as far as liberty goes.
Yeah.
And you've also met, probably a couple other 100 or more libertarians, early movers here. So, I mean, like, you've had the discussions, you've had the conversations. In fact, if you hang out with libertarians on a regular basis, it's often an echo chamber. Yeah. And we want to be able to reach out more and talk to people outside of our, but...
I hear you when you say that, but I'll be perfectly honest. I don't want that responsibility. This show, like what I do... I'll wake people up that I meet in person. I don't have a problem doing that because I live here, all right. And there's this whole community that they can get in contact with and be with. So I don't mind waking locals up. I don't want to wake people up on the internet. I don't want to wake people up where they're alone. They have no opportunity to move here. I mean, I spent years being by myself. All right, I was woke up, and they're going around and got me here. I got here, but I don't want that. I don't want that responsibility. I used to do some stuff like that, trying to wake people up. No, I don't want that responsibility. I don't want to wake people.
It's not a matter of responsibility. You just do it case by case.
No. In person, absolutely. I mean, I understand in person.
With the internet, no.
I'm talking about the internet at large, like people that are like
forums?
They're like in Oklahoma City, or they're like somewhere in Boise, Idaho, or who the fuck knows. All right, and don't get me wrong, there's probably someone that's like jogging right now. All right, I'm serious. I used to listen to podcasts when I'm jogging. There's some guy or woman,
I'm sure,
hopefully a woman.
I like to listen to audiobooks while I'm,
Exactly.
Whatever.
But at some point, there's some person though that somehow stumble upon this on iTunes or Stitcher. Subscribe to us to both and leave us a message. By the way, leave us a rating. We appreciate that. But at any rate, someone out there You have no idea who it is.
He's still jogging. He's waiting for
He's
you
still
to.
He's still
What's
jogging.
he gonna say about me?
Yeah, watch out for that person with the dog. They're mean. Don't go up there and pet that dog. But
or do.
or do maybe, who knows? Maybe it's your next
Can't
your
tell him
wife.
what to
Who
do.
knows? But no, I mean, I used to listen to podcasts all the time, but like, you wake someone up and if they don't have that, I mean, Texas has a pretty decent liberty community, but beyond that, like, it's not. There's not a strong liberty community, and you'll spend years or a year or so trying to convince your friends of like why liberty should exist and why freedom should be and why the state shouldn't exist. You waste your time. You're spending all this time. All right. And honestly, but you get depressed. You're like, I'm alone and like everyone thinks I'm the crazy nut. They do.
Right. The
You
Judge
know?
Napolitano, the Stossel, the Ron Paul.
Yeah.
Well, see,
That's a big job.
Yeah. And I don't want that. I don't want that burden on my shoulder. I stopped as soon as I moved here. I stopped doing that.
Well, the internet's.
I don't want to do that.
The internet forums, other than going there on a forum for the purpose of learning something or sharing an idea, I think is largely useless. Unless you're going there for those things.
Yeah, if you
So
don't
if
think
going,
that's
if
yeah.
you're going there to debate things, like you're saying, like it's not somebody who's like who you know. It's not somebody who you have any like vested interest in their well-being or anything. It's some fucking may as well be a fucking bot. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've heard of people like meeting on the internet and stuff, or meeting in real person from after having met on the internet. But
You haven't wait. You haven't met someone that you met on the internet first?
I have.
You probably met like hundreds of people. That
But
you
I
met on
wasn't
the
going to
internet first.
say that until you. I guess now you're going to ask me.
I met you on the internet. I remember messaging you and talking to you, saying that you have a class or teach editing before I ever met you.
Yeah, that was an attempt. So that's something that I'm going to be doing again. Trying again, by
Yes.
the way.
Yeah, moving to Manchester so you can learn editing techniques from Beau Davis.
Yes. Yeah, so editing, filmmaking, animation, sound, studio recording. I want to, and and I'm a student myself too. I've been at this for a while, but I'm still learning new stuff all the time. But I would like to be able to share as much as I can with people, and they can donate to my time. And
we're like an hour in and we haven't even talked about 101 Reasons.
no, we did a little bit. I mean, so
Not really.
let me give a quick brief then, if you don't mind.
Sure, go. Yeah, that's why you're on the show. That's why you're on here. Go ahead.
So the movie is about this 101 Reasons list on the FSP website, which again I mentioned before influenced my move, and what it is it's a breakdown in 5 categories of reasons to move to New Hampshire. What it was a list, a resume, if you will, written by a woman named Michelle Dumas, who is a Libertarian party member. I believe she was the vice chair, and she in I think 2002. She became aware of the Free State Project, and so she wrote this list and for the Free State Project, because actually at the time the Free State Project was voting on a state to choose as its destination for the migration of 20,000 libertarians to move to this location, and so New Hampshire was chosen largely because of this list that Michelle Dumas wrote that convinced a lot of people. And has since then continuing to convince people to make the move early before the move has been triggered officially. And so what we decided to do was adapt it into a movie. This was sort of like we say the Free State Project was the brainchild of Jason Soren's The 101 Reasons documentary was the brainchild of Vince Perfetto. This is something that he really wanted to. He was another early mover, still here, just really great guy, and so he wanted to make this movie, and he ended up posting on Facebook saying, I would like to do this. Who out there would, who's the right person for the job? And so, like, I think within minutes, somebody tagged me, or I posted on it. I can't remember exactly, but I connected with him. Never met the guy in my life. The craziest thing too. Sorry to divert from this, but it's a funny story.
Feel free.
He's from the same, the next town over from where I'm from in Florida. We didn't know each other. Like, he actually worked for a radio station that I listened to. Like,
Same thing. Like, there's Liberty Phoenix, Unity Evolve. Go listen to that. They're another podcast team out there. Liberty Phoenix. Met him at PorkFest. We had he literally lives like an hour away from where I used to live in Illinois. All right. And I remember we had like this like moment at PorkFest in Agora Valley where we're talking about like how he's dreading going back. He's supposed to move sometime in the spring, and I really hope he does. But yeah, like we never knew each other. Never even talked to each other, never knew each other in Illinois. And I moved.
wow.
And then I started, but I remember him, he's like a chronic caller to Free Talk Live and like every fucking Liberty show out there. All right, so I remember hearing his voice and stuff like that. And then I met him at PorkFest. I'm like, and he's doing his own show now and whatnot. And he's actually really good at it. He's very charismatic, and he wants to move here to Manchester. Hopefully he does soon.
Awesome, another media person.
Exactly. I'm hoping he does.
I can't wait till he gets here.
Yeah. But, yeah, like, same thing. We lived literally driving distance from each other. Never knew each other. Never. I know, like, Rich Paul was on earlier last month, and he was, like, the town over from both Mark Edge and Ian Freeman. He never knew them. He never knew them. He never knew they existed in Florida until he got here.
Yeah, and I'm from the same coast, the same area. There are a lot of us from around Southwest Florida-ish, and so the producer Vince Perfetto, he and I, he was the executive producer, along with a few other producers, some great people, Mark Warden, Carolyn Albert, Gary Milievsky, and Ian Freeman.
Peace be upon him.
And so we everybody got on board after we had a successful Indiegogo campaign. Thank you again to everybody who donated to the movie, by the way. We raised about 8,000 Federal Reserve notes.
That's
of both
amazing.
Federal Reserve notes and Bitcoin, and it contributed to
That's huge.
equipment purchases, travel expenses, and as well as what it's still being used. There's still money left over. We're putting towards distribution and marketing, and so back to the movie though. The movie is about that list that I was mentioning before, and so. What we wanted to do is showcase. I went around for the past year or so and just recorded as much as I could. I didn't get out to everywhere I wanted to and meet and talk to all the people I wanted to, but which is why I'm still going to be doing some post-release videos. There's going to be lots more videos added to the 101 Reasons Film channel.
Well, I was gonna ask you, what's next after one? You got it out.
Right. So
what's next?
Yeah. So the hour-length movie is out now. You can watch it for free on YouTube. But what I have a bunch of what I've been calling them pre-release mini documentaries or
And
movies.
thank you for showcasing the Rebel Love Show and some of your pre-release stuff, by the way.
No problem. Thanks for having me on. This is, I think, the second time.
Second time, yeah. We've had a lot of return guests in the last few weeks, so yeah, you are number.
Well, when
3
I
or
was
4 or
first
something
on,
like that.
when I was first on, was it almost a year ago, right? When you first started?
No. You got Shire Time on. Yeah, Shire Time wise has been over a year. All right, Shire Time, yeah, it's probably like 2 years ago. But no, you were
What,
like
6 months ago?
what,
I wasn't
May?
moved. I wasn't moved yet.
He wasn't even here yet.
and I got here about 6
that
months
was
ago.
with Joel at the time. You were here back in. God, that feels like years ago, man.
It does. Yeah, you're right. Okay, Shire
It
Time.
is
I understand
Shire
what you're
Time.
talking
Shire
about now.
Time. You have no. I was a different person when you recorded me on there. Like I was still a new mover. I'm still a new mover, but like that was like when I was still getting my feet wet.
I'm so fresh in that movie, man.
Well, like that was. I want to say that was sometime in May. I think. Go back to if there's some hardcore Rebel Love Show fan, go back there and like figure it out. I don't know. I think it's like back in May. But yeah, that was a different. I don't even recognize myself in the mirror, like
Oh, dude,
from 3 months ago. Well alone 8 months ago. You know, I don't. I literally don't.
I'm a different person than I was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, right.
3 weeks. No, I released the movie 3 weeks ago. I just started. Yeah, I just started coming out of my hermit shell about 2 weeks ago. And I don't know. Maybe you all noticed any different. I don't know. I'm trying. I think I'm a little cooler.
Totally.
No, we've all gone through these transitions and everything. And,
That's
and
another thing that's fascinating, is kind of paying attention to people, especially. I love watching new movers.
yeah.
You know, you
They're
know.
all, everybody's uncomfortable, but then everybody realizes, oh, we just have to just be comfortable.
But they change. They change so fast. They like acclimate, and then like they evolve. They acclimate, and then they evolve, and like you kind of like you're watching them, seeing like what happens next, like what's gonna happen, like what are they gonna do, and you know they go through huge. You literally see the stages of their lives like changing.
Yeah.
You know.
You know, some one thing we a lot of us saw was like the Bitcoin. You know, the Bitcoin millionaires come out of nowhere.
See, that happened before I got here.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even witness that happen. Like it hit 1,000 before I moved. You know, so like I didn't see. You know, we're Bitcoin balling in here. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't see that.
I saw it. I watched it. I was one of those that has woken up every morning and gotten up, you know, stretched and kicked myself in the ass because I didn't buy it at $4.
Oh my God! I was paying attention to Bitcoin at $5, man.
I was too. That's what I'm saying. You know, like I had an opportunity to buy, you know, to not buy, you know, an ounce of pot. And, you know,
Man.
Exactly.
and,
You know,
and just throw it all in Bitcoin, you know, or throw whatever percentage of my earnings or savings into Bitcoin. I should have. And you know what? I just watched this morning. I watched it go from 376 to 349 or something like that.
in my opinion, first off, do not listen to us for financial advice.
No, of course not. No, listen
Not
to
at
your
all.
internal gut.
Yeah. That being said, if you really want financial advice, go check out JJ and Darren at Neocash, which is recorded right down the street.
Yeah.
Neocash Radio. Yeah.
Neocash Radio. I think we've all been on. Have you been on it?
I haven't yet.
You haven't yet. They
I'd
haven't
like
invited
to
you. I
be.
don't know. Hey, Darren, I'm calling you
I'll
out.
talk about Dogecoin.
Get your show on iTunes, because like I know you're probably not gonna listen to this, but if anyone knows Darren Tapp, message him and tell him that you want Neocash Radio, which is also just got on LRN, which is awesome because they need something that is, about money. I guess. I don't know.
They don't really have anything like that.
They don't have anything
otherwise.
like that. But that being said, if you want to listen to stuff about like hardcore about Bitcoin, he's been on the show back in April. We need to get not April, but August. He needs to come back on. But another podcast team out of Manchester. But
He's not just a Bitcoin guru though. This guy is revolutionizing math education for kids.
yeah, he's a professor, and he's doing like his agorist, like homeschooling thing, or I don't know what the hell he's exactly doing.
He's calling it the arithmetic playground, and actually he does a big piece on it on my show. It's like this too. So if you look up "It's Like This Too" on YouTube,
hashtag "It's Like This Too." Or?
Yeah, well, you can find it called hashtag.
You can find it through the Free State Project YouTube channel. It's pretty much the only thing that's being produced on that channel right now, and that's an episode that's coming up. But by the time you see this, it might actually be up. And he goes into like
is that a jab at me not publishing fast enough?
Yeah, that's
oh god,
like
I know
uppercut, dude. It's not even a jab.
I'll get it up, man.
No,
I apologize for the podcast listeners. Like I understand. It's been a couple weeks. It's been a very chaotic couple weeks in my life.
You see, but on It's Like This Too, I have a Cecilia to like whip me into shape. So
she does like the whip off. Apparently.
Yeah,
that's the word on the that's the word on the street. I'm sorry, Cecilia. I love you. I'm just messing with you.
Cecilia. Oh.
Another former Keeniac, by the way, in Manchester, or possibly. In Manchester.
She's en route, I think.
Yeah,
she's on her way.
Not that it's a competition.
Trigger the Cecilia.
Let's
use that hashtag.
What does that even mean?
Trigger the
You had good hashtags. You had hashtag no sleep till Keen.
No sleep till Keen.
That was awesome.
Which people started using.
Yes.
That's hilarious. And then on the way back, it was no sleep till Manch. This was from Keenvention, like to and from.
No sleep till Manch. I drove in the car with you. You slept almost the entire fucking way. And you slept in the car
on
the Keen as well. You didn't say no sleep till Keen because you slept on the way to Keen. There's video of it. YouTube.com/VR.
Don't even go watch 101 Reasons again. Don't even watch that.
Are you telling people not to watch my content? Because I didn't record that. Lauren took the video and just started recording you sleeping. There's video of apparently that I uploaded of him sleeping, but nonetheless. Anywho, 101, yeah, great documentary.
Thank you. No, so you asked. I think you asked me earlier, and I forgot or I maybe got off track or something. Again, I'm smoking cannabis.
It's okay.
It affects the memory. It's slightly temporarily. So, I think what I want to do moving forward is to again like share my knowledge with people aside from the movie.
Yeah, I'm a horrible editor.
Well, I can help you with that.
I just need to, in all honesty, I'll be perfectly honest.
We can help each other with that. That's why I want to create the group, because I can't help everybody.
I'm down for the struggle, man. I'm not against it. You know, I just want to be able to edit fast. Like I have all these great ideas of like some videos I want to do. I have a decent amount of subscribers on one YouTube channel, but I haven't really uploaded anything to it because I haven't had time. I've been living my life. I've been a little selfish about myself instead of being... Because before I moved, I was like all about like putting stuff out and stuff like that. Even when I got here, when I was like all gun-ho, like I want to change the world and da-da-da-da. And I started living my life.
How Randian are you?
I'll be perfectly honest. I haven't read a single Ayn Rand
But philosophy-wise, I mean, you can understand the person by their quotes, I guess, if you will.
Yeah. You know, I definitely, obviously, I own myself.
And
I'm in it for me.
Selfishness is a virtue, I guess, is the one thing that I'm thinking about.
Yeah. No, I get that. I can relate. I mean, I do care about. I love humanity. I want to liberate humanity, and.
But
even if like shit like this doesn't liberate us, like in the future, maybe I really do view everything that people at this sitting at the table right now do is we're being historians down the road. Like I understand we're in this for the long haul. I understand that everything we do, it's not going to like change the world tomorrow. But again, at some point we're gonna inspire someone else. Maybe 5 years from now, someone will find this episode on YouTube or the podcast, or they'll look at your documentary like 10 years from now.
And they'll probably think, I can do that way better than those guys.
Exactly. And if you have an idea,
that's great.
That's a great idea. You should do that.
Yeah.
Right. That's what we wanted was more spearheaders, because we're, individually spearheading our own things, but
Can
come
never
out
have too
here and
many.
fucking do it.
Yeah. But no, I'm very.
And that's
I-
and you're doing it. You're living your life, and you're doing this.
I want
you
you.
were putting- you're taking
Obviously,
away
we
from
know.
your life to do
I mean,
this.
everyone at this table, we all live very interesting lives, and we. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not. I talk about personal life on this show, but I don't talk about everything that's very, very personal. But I can say without a shadow of a doubt that all of us live a very, very interesting life.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And I want my life. I forgot who quoted this. I forgot who said it, and I apologize that I shouldn't know this. But like,
Is it Nick Gillespie?
no, it's
Is
not.
it-
No, I don't think so.
Was it Nick Gillespie's hair?
Which never, or is it his leather coat?
His leather coat. Those both deserve Facebook pages if you have time.
Well, there's a Facebook page for his leather coat.
There better be.
I don't
Well,
know.
there's one for Garrett's
Hair's
Garrett
hair. But at any rate, no, I mean, I live free
Yeah.
as much as I fucking can.
Right.
All right. When it comes to my personal life, when it comes to my like life in general, I mean, yeah, I go to a slave job, and it's hard to relate to. I know I was told that like seems elitist when I say muggles, but it's true. Like, when I talk to like the common folk that like watch football and they're big Patriots and Bruins fans and all that jazz. I live my life to the point where like my life is a rebellion against the state or against the system, whatever you want to look at. Like, here I am, come get me. Like I don't care. I'll break social norms left and right. Because
Yeah.
I'm living my life.
That's how we're similar, is neither of us came here to hide.
I didn't come here to hide.
Right.
I understand that's a huge risk, and you have you're an agorist. You're not. You're doing editing left and right. You're not. You're working for yourself, so you can't really relate to this. But I can tell you right now, okay. When you quit your job, which I did back in October, I hated my job at the time. I quit my job. All right, and if I Google my name. I talked about this on the Direct Action panel at convention, which I haven't even uploaded to this fucking podcast channel yet, which I should. Which would probably be up before you even listen to this episode. But at any rate, I quit my job. I Googled my name because I figure an employer's going to Google my name. It's 2014. And I Googled my name, and there's a bunch of people that have similar names. We have a common name. All right, so there's like Olympian, there's a bunch of different congressmen, there's business people. There's a site that has like robertmathias.com or .net. There's like some business guy or something like that. So I'm like on like a third page or something like this. So I'm not too worried. And then I Google my name. And I just add NH. I add NH. All right? Every fucking thing I've done here, jury nullification, blog posts, interviews, whatever, everything pops up. The show, everything.
Freaking.com.
Freaking, my blog post, everything that I've done. The entire thing was me. All right? And it was, I had a nervous breakdown for like maybe 10, 15 minutes until I smoked. I won't lie. And I'm like, oh my God, how the hell am I going to eat? I had enough savings for a couple of months, but like, how am I going to find a job? What am I going to do? Like, oh my God. Like, I mean, I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do with my life. Like, I've put so much into this that I'm so public that I'm out there. There's no way I can contact all these websites. I was in the union leader a couple times, like I'm going to go up to the union leader. I'm like, hey, you're the biggest newspaper. Can you like take me out of like your newspaper so I can find a job? Like, that's not gonna happen, And oh man, it was. Luckily, I found a job, and I actually found a really good paying job. Hopefully, if I bust my ass, but like it could pay good. And it's a day job. I'm not gonna say what it is on air, but what's crazy is, case in point, it was a huge fear that I was, I'm out there. I did enough stuff. I can't hide who I am anymore. It was a huge realization. It was like a week of like, stressing You know, I was hugely stressing, especially considering I was afraid, like, this was my week. I quit my job. I actually quit my job when I was in Keene. I emailed my boss while I was in Keene for Pumpkin Fest. I emailed him. I'm like, I quit. And I'm like, because I knew it was just a horrible job. I couldn't take it anymore. And they got me here, but I couldn't take it. And I remember freaking out about it. You know, I was so freaking out. But then, literally a day later, I started looking for jobs. I got hired on the spot at 2 different places. One was part-time, one was full-time. And it was amazing. I've never been hired on the spot, well alone 2 jobs in 1 week. Never happened to me. And then, of course, one was like, oh, by the way, you have to do a drug test in 2 days. I had smoked that week and I was so fucking stressed that how was I gonna
Facebook posts?
Yeah. Well, I deleted that, by the way, just in case, like, you know, they saw that.
That's why I don't post public on Facebook. You know, like open to everyone. Like I have it set to my friends. You know?
See, you are different between you and me. Now, mind you, all the posts I do on Facebook, you know, everything I post usually goes to Twitter as well and Google Plus. But and Instagram, I love my Instagram feed. Anyone out there that watches my Instagram, which I know there's multiple people that do, I love that more than anything else, more than the show, more than any YouTube video ever do, more than any activism. My favorite thing that I do here is my Instagram feed. So if you don't know about my Instagram feed, go check it out. You can check it out in the show notes on this. I have the link to it. Go check this out. That's my favorite thing, bar none, than anything I do here. I freaked out. Then I got the job. It was a roller coaster, man. I was freaking out that I'm like, how am I gonna live? And then I found the job. And then I had to pass a drug test, which I smoked. And somehow I detoxed, and I got it. So they're going to find this. Hopefully they never listen to this episode, which I don't broadcast what this is on air.
And you know what? If you do, just like I think the moral of your story. I don't know if this is your intent or not.
I don't even know where I'm going with this.
Is to not worry. You know, like if you're worried about, if you're thinking about moving here and getting involved in this community, like, and you're worried about, like, am I not going to get a job, or am I not going to find the right place, or is the, like, there are people that are going to help you just because they want you to be here. We all want more people like us here, you know.
Absolutely.
So and when you get here, you're like, yeah, I want more people like us here too, and you'll likely end up going to a move-in party or something and helping somebody move some furniture, you know, because it's a nice, considerate thing to do, and you get to meet people and network.
You know, this is a horrible thing for me to say. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I haven't gone to a new movers party yet. And I didn't even get it. Well, I've gone to multiple new movers parties at the cooler one now, like where like once a month every Tuesday there's a new movers party. And it's fucking awesome. It's been awesome for like the last 6 months. Every time there's like 50 to 100 people that show up. It's amazing. But I haven't gone to like, you know, the move-in to like help people move and whatnot.
Boxes and Did you have a move-in party though when you came here?
No.
Okay,
so I did not. Because people know my story. I don't want to repeat it again.
It's in a song,
so
for
it's
crying
in
out loud.
It's in a song, for God's sake, that was like recorded after Porkfest in the studio.
The Ballad of Rob Mathias. Look it up.
Damn it! Don't look that fucking shit up. That's so fucking embarrassing. But go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, if you're thinking about moving here, you know, like, let us know. And
yeah,
you know, let somebody, you know, go on to the Free State Project website, and I'm sure there's contact information for people, or go on to Facebook and join. There's groups. I think there's the Porcupines group is an open.
Yes,
group,
Porcupines
right?
group.
There's
Free
a
State Project
Welcome
group.
Wagon group.
There's a
FSP Welcome Wagon.
Welcome Wagon.
There's a job alert pages.
FSP job alerts.
House
yes.
alert pages.
Yes. Housing.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of different
and there's a
groups.
lot of stuff that's region specific too. So if you're interested in like in something coastal or something by a lake or
There,
in the
there,
mountains.
there is a Facebook group for every city almost at this
yeah.
point. Lakes region, Ware, Manchester, Keene, the Free Coast. There is Nashua. Though I don't even know what the hell goes down Nashua. I think they're very close knit. I don't know. And I would love to see Grafton be more like vocal because I hear great things, but I don't. I hear about it secondhand, but I don't see it. But no, but every area of New Hampshire has like some sort of group chat or like a group forum or something like that, and it's amazing to see all. And on top of that, there's I've lost track of how I know I'm not even in all of them, but there's so many different Facebook groups to be in. But
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many. You can't even keep track of how many there are.
And it's funny because a lot of that, we talk about armchair activism, and stuff like that. But like, we'll have our armchair activism where we're talking to somebody, but we're collaborating on projects. It's oftentimes, like we're either trying to resolve, problems, create solutions, and just, and collaborate on thought-provoking, problem-solving issues or projects.
It's not armchair activism if I get a standing desk.
Oh, what's with you and a standing desk?
I want to get one, man.
I stand
Hey,
so much for
promotes-
my job. I want to sit down when I get home.
Promotes good posture, though, I imagine.
Yeah. I think I generally have good posture anyway.
I don't. I need to work on it.
Huh. Well, I used to be a ROTC Nazi in high school. In the ROTC, Reserve Officer Training Corps. True story.
Really?
Yeah,
So
so
you
I
were-
actually was...
Ultra statist.
Yeah. Well, I guess, man. Like, I cut my hair, but still on the inside, I was pretty much a rebel.
But yeah, I mean, back to
Okay,
what we were
that's
originally
what you
talking about. Like, yeah, I mean, I live my life. My life is. I would like to say, like, my life has kind of gotten to the point where it's almost a rebellion against the system. I mean, like, I live free as much as I can. I don't give a shit what anyone thinks of my life.
Right.
And I've run into people that are like, unfortunately, there's a couple conservatives here and whatnot, but the vast majority aren't. But like, even in like when I go into my day job, I feel like sometimes I'm jacking myself into the matrix for 40 to 50 hours a week. But even then, I don't really hide who I am. I'm cautious to talk about my activism, but
Well, it's not one of the first things you talk about upon
No.
meeting somebody.
no,
Just
exactly.
like they, like they may not be a libertarian, but they probably have some niche thing, some
They like
weird
guns, or
thing
they
they're-
smoke pot, or something.
I actually had a great talk with a, and I actually sent him the link to your movie. And I had to go through like 3 weeks of training at my new job. All right, which I got a new job in like 2 days after I quit my old job. It was like destiny. I don't know. And I'm really happy about this new job.
A good job market too.
Yeah, it's a great job market in the Shire. Like, seriously, the unemployment here is lower than most of the country, if not all the country.
It took me 4 days to transfer my job here.
Yeah, like you can get I transferred here if you have a corporate job and there's a place here in Manchester or anywhere in New Hampshire or the Shire, transfer. Like, that's the best way to get here. It really, really is. But I went through 3 weeks. I'm chilling with this guy for like 3 weeks. 3 weeks, I'm training with this guy, and he comes out to me, and we're talking. We kind of have like hints of what we're talking about and what's going on and all that jazz, and find out that he is he's a huge pot activist. Like, that's his big, huge issue, and like he's in Maine, and they have better medical marijuana, and he's starting his own business in medical marijuana. He's doing all these things. He wants to be very vocal and wants to like promote it, like full on legalization everywhere. And he's also pro gun. He's a Ron Paul supporter. I'm like, there's this thing in New Hampshire that it's on your doorstep that you don't even know about. Like, you don't even know. Like, you just met like your contact to like 1,500 plus people that you didn't even know existed. They're literally like an hour's drive from you. And my last day of training, I emailed him. He gave me his email address. I'm like, I sent him your documentary. I'm like, I didn't even talk about the Free State Project. I didn't even talk about any of it. I kind of hinted at like why I moved here, but I talking about how there's a lot of libertarians and stuff like that. But I didn't talk about the Free State Project. And I sent him that. I sent him that literally a couple of days ago. He hasn't. Hopefully he responds soon, which I'm pretty sure he will. But he was like hardcore down into all that. But yeah, it's interesting how sometimes you feel like you have this. I mean, I feel like I live my life with a purpose, and sometimes I feel like I touch people. Like, you spread the message, or you have interactions with people for a reason.
Yeah.
And sometimes this person was that person. Maybe it's not. Who knows? But
everybody's gonna learn from an interaction, or has an opportunity to, at least. So.
Yeah, I always feel like sometimes when I'm talking to someone, it's, I'm planting that seed, but there's a reason why I talk to that person for a while.
Well, yeah. If you live in a life of no regrets, which we all should strive to, and it's not just from like having no regrets. That's just from not regretting. If you live that life, you have an opportunity to just be happy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
like for me, for me, like I live my life. I don't care what people think of me.
Right.
I care about my reputation. Don't get me wrong. If you ever move here, by the way, folks, your reputation means everything.
It does. Absolutely.
It's your social currency. Don't fuck people.
Right.
Don't fuck with them.
Not just
don't do a wrong. Not because obviously because it's the right thing to do to be a good person, but your reputation, it's valuable, and you want to make sure that it's just. That being said, I'm going to live free. I'm not going to aggress against any human being.
Right.
But I want to be me. I want to be me, regardless of whatever people think of me.
Right. So long as you're not doing anything wrong, there should be no reservations about your actions. So you should have the most highest confidence level in your life. If you are living, if you are living to your principle and living free, you should be the happiest you could possibly be. You should
Absolutely.
be confident, content, and that's I think how a lot of us feel here. Because we are surrounded by people who are principled and or becoming more principled. Again, we're all shedding statism.
Yeah.
So it's what the hell are y'all waiting for?
Trigger move. Don't wait, folks. Just move. That's what it is. But yeah, I feel like sometimes I want my life to be a rebellion against the system at some point, because I just want to live so free that people are like, freaking out that I'm living so free. I don't know. Maybe I don't. I'm just doing my thing. I'm doing who I am. Everyone at this table does who they are. I know Shire Dude, you're... I don't even want to try to explain how your life is. All damn day. You have no idea what he was like when he first moved here. When I first met him,
watch
the
the 101 Reasons film.
Watch the 101 Reasons. He's like,
you'll see little me.
you see little Shire. Yeah. There almost needs to be a sequel to the 101 just to re-interview Shire Dude and see how he is now compared to how he was. But we're way over our normal hour time slot, because I felt as if this is still going on, so I didn't even want to stop it. But Beau, where can people find you, and where you're at, and what you gotta do, and first off, before you even say that, what's really next? What's next for you? I really want to ask that question before we head off.
So what's next? Like I was saying before, I want to start the Porcupine AV Club. Which is just going to be a multimedia gathering, a gathering of multimedia producers, people from different mediums of production. And so I'd like to offer a time for us all to get together, collaborate, and create art. And so
Absolutely.
that's one thing I want to do. Ultimately, yeah. I
And
want
where
to create art.
and
So,
where can people find you at?
well, me, Facebook, or just come here. Come here to New Hampshire. I'll be here.
Okay.
Find him in this room, man.
If you want to watch the movie, though, go to youtube.com/101reasonsfilm or go to 101reasonsfilm.com, and you can watch the movie on either one of those.
Yeah, because both me and Shire Dude are featured in it, and Rebel's show is too. So go watch it, and it's a great reason why you should move. Like there's a lot of great content in that film. Shire Dude, we didn't really talk about that. We hinted at it. We should have talked about it earlier, but the conversation kept going. Congratulations. Where's your beer?
I have only
there
empty
you go.
beers over here.
You are now a blogger for Free Keen.
I'm a free keener now, man.
You're a Keeniac
Oh, snap.
by association for being on Free Keen. And by the way, you are the answer to stop Free Keen.
Yo, everyone who's watching this who stopped Free Keen, I'm coming for you.
I mean, if Ian ever needed an answer to stop Free Keen, it'd be Shire Dude.
Oh, man. I'm going to Shire Dude the shit out of them.
Oh, my God. But congratulations. I've been blogging since the spring, but it's you deserve to be on there. I'm glad you're blogging on there.
It's all coming full circle, man. We're on LRN. We're blogging for Free Keen.
It's fucking crazy, man. And
we got Beau Davis on the freaking show. It's
I know. We're supposed to drink with Beau Davis on our show, talking about his documentaries, which include Does the Move. It's just
man.
crazy round circle. I hear you.
Yeah. Anything else I'm doing, I'm gonna try to get it out there on shiredude.com.
And what's the other show you're doing?
Oh, I'm doing It's Like This too, but I'm thinking of just having that, accessible through shiredude.com.
You're not posting those episodes on shiredude.com yet?
I'm posting the show is posting on the Free State Project YouTube, but then bloopers for that show are posting on the Shire Dude YouTube.
You should just post all of it on Shire Dude.
Because
you should.
Yeah, I'll have the playlist accessible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anywho, you can find all the content for this show on rebelloveshow.com. You can find obviously shiredude.com. You can find any content that I do, which I'll be honest, I'm a slacktivist. I don't post that often. But I have my own website, vrebel.com. And also donate some Bitcoin to me, some Bitcoin to Beau. Donate some Doge to Shire Dude because he loves Doge. And I don't know if he likes Bitcoin, but he really loves Doge. And also go to lrn.fm and listen to us on their podcast loop. Download TuneIn Radio on your phone. Hook it up to your car deck and listen to us when you're commuting to work or jogging or anything like that. Or go to iTunes or Stitcher and actually download us and listen to us on your favorite podcast feed. But anyways, we are out, kids. So peace.
Peace.
Buddy White.
Amen.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about spray-on tans.
Doesn't she have a spray-on tan?
I don't know.
Well, aren't you a Betty White fan?
Did you ever read that?
Are you saying you're not?
I'm indifferent.
You're indifferent from Betty White.
Wow.
Yes.
You think you know a guy.
Okay. Yeah, I thought you were a huge Betty White fan.
No.
So you don't like Golden Girls?
I'm not an anti fan either.
Did you used to watch Golden Girls back in the day?
No.
Why not?
Because I was watching cartoons.
Not to watch a particular show.
Okay, I was definitely singing the Full House theme song earlier. That's what I was singing.
Great show of all time.
Full House?
I'm pretty sure that's what I was singing.
At
Okay.
another point, I will explain why Full House should be used instead of the Bible for a moral compass. We can do that another time.
That's great.
Okay. Absolutely. All right.
Why?
You kids ready to record?
Go.
Technically, I already was recording for a while now, so I got to start the show at some point, though.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Rolling.
Yeah. Basically, if you sit down, put the headphones on,
Mhm.
imagine we're already recording.
I have assumed that we have been.
We have been.
So we have a
I
blooper
I didn't
reel.
hit record in a while. I should have hit earlier because there's some funny stuff I wish I recorded, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. Okay.
It's good.
All right. Hey, Carlos, Mathias, we're gonna record. So, just letting you know, we're actually starting now.
Like for real.
For real.
For realsies.
You made
for
him pout.
realsies. Okay. I'll wait till you're done smoking. It's picked up on the mic.
I was hoping we were going to start off that way.
Okay.
We're all laughing about something that just happened.
No. I'm trying to start it up.
Okay, go.
Okay.